What's good, YouTube? Y'all already know we your boys. Them boy crazy. Y'all already know it's your boy Road to Ralph up in this motherfucker.
I already know what's going on, man. You know it's your boy Cam Official. Anytime you see our face, you know it's time for another reaction.
Man, this one of them videos, man. Another one of them videos. This NBA YoungBoy released on house arrest, $500,000 bond. But and then 21,000 we for security. But that $500,000, ooh, I know he made that little payment, boy. I know this. I know it ain't nothing to him. But to me, a $5 bond had me out there curling my toes like what they're going on.
21,000 for their security. That would give me a week. But yeah, my boy living like that though.
Look, you hear me? 10 million.
Cause me, I was.
It's a bad.
That might take a week.
You would have been there playing the title still,
I probably got $21 a week.
I could
The
have used $21.
NBA camp just got a big win after it was announced that NBA YoungBoy will get out on house arrest after being locked up the last few months. Let's get straight into what happened. Back in September 2020, YoungBoy was arrested in his hometown of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, look at that.
Happened. Back in September 2020, YoungBoy was arrested in his hometown of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, after police raided an abandoned trap house where he was filming a music video with some members of NBA and BBG. Neighbors called the police after seeing some dudes hanging out and carrying guns. When the cops arrived, most of the men ran, and the rest got arrested on drug and gun charges. YoungBoy was on the scene and got caught up in the case. Police ain't find YoungBoy in possession of any of the weapons, but they did find his DNA on a .45 cal and 9mm pistol. They also checked the footage that was taken by the cameraman and saw YoungBoy holding guns. Plus, they was illegal and not registered. Because YoungBoy's a convicted felon, he can't be around guns or associate with other convicted felons. So he was hit with several charges, including felon in possession of a firearm and possession of a firearm not properly licensed. Originally, he was released on bond and allowed to go about his business. But in February 2021, the FBI said they were opening an investigation into the entire Never Broke Again organization called Operation Never Free Again and put out a warrant for the rapper's arrest. On March 22nd, 2021.
I feel like that be having me try to be one. I'm like, do y'all be so bored to the point you just gotta open up an investigation just cause?
But we're never free again.
Never free again. I remember when I first heard that, I was like, bro, y'all so lame for that, bro. Y'all so lame. Like, where did it even come from? Like, did y'all just sit at the round table and just say, man, we just finna open, like, I don't know.
Hell no, cuz.
LAPD tried to pull YoungBoy over for the outstanding warrant. YoungBoy must have known what was coming, and instead of pulling over, he smashed off and led police on a high-speed chase. When he realized that wasn't gonna work, he got out of the car and fled on foot. He had lost cops for a little while, but the LAPD called in the help of the FBI, who brought out the K-9s and were able to track him. Police also found a gun in the car he was driving. So, he was detained and brought into custody in Los Angeles. A judge in California approved a $1.5 million bail that required YoungBoy to put up $500,000 in cash, as well as 2 properties. But since the original crime happened in Baton Rouge, YoungBoy had to return to his home state to have his bail approved by a judge in Louisiana. On April 1st, the Louisiana judge decided to revoke his bond because of his history of probation violations and violent behavior. So he's been sitting down ever since, while his lawyers try to get the court to reconsider. Even though YoungBoy's been locked up, he still had a better year than most rappers who are free. He dropped his 3rd studio album on September 24th, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts and sold 137,000 units. This made him the 3rd rapper in history to have a #1 album while behind bars after Tupac and Lil Wayne. Despite his legal situation, NBA YoungBoy has kept a solid fan base who's willing to support him no matter what. Now, it seemed like he got some good luck, and a judge in Louisiana reversed the decision to revoke bail after his lawyers gave a solid plan for his release. After seeing that, a federal judge also agreed to let him post bail, but there's some strict conditions he has to follow to not get sent back. First, he's not completely free. He has to remain on house arrest until his trial, which he'll serve from his home in Layton, Utah. It sounds like the judge figured there ain't much trouble he can get into if he's away in the state, far from other rappers or ops. Second, he can't leave the house unless his travel plans are approved by his parole officer, and he's only allowed to go to Baton Rouge to see family in parts of California and Utah.
You already know them folks ain't finna let them ain't go nowhere. I don't see.
Hold on, what?
By his parole officer or ops. Second, he can't leave the house unless his travel plans are approved by his parole officer, and he's only allowed to go to Baton Rouge to see family in parts of California and Utah for business. Next, he can't have more than 3 visitors at his home at a time. They can only visit between the hours of 7 a.m. and 9 p.m., and they got to be approved by a judge, meaning they can't be felons or gang members. Plus, there's also the conditions that are normal for those on parole, like not breaking any other laws or being in possession of drugs or a firearm. He'll have a home studio where he can make music, but he probably won't be approved to do any shows unless it's very small and in one of their approved locations. YoungBoy also agreed to pay an armed security staff to protect the property and make sure he follows all the rules of his bail. His lawyers offered to employ a private security company called Bedrock and pay them as much as $21,000 a week to patrol the property. On top of that, a woman named Kyrie Oliver testified for YoungBoy, saying she met the rapper when he was a kid in the Baton Rouge school system and began mentoring him. She told the court that if YoungBoy got out on bond, she would personally help keep an eye on him. Julie Greenwald, a music industry exec who works for Atlantic Records, YoungBoy's label, testified that the company had already invested more than $2 million in YoungBoy's career. So they willing to build him a home studio and provide whatever else he needs to continue to work while on house arrest. Prosecutors try to poke holes in the defense's case, saying that everyone who testified on YoungBoy's behalf was on his payroll, which means they couldn't be trusted to make sure he followed the conditions of his bail. They pointed out the fact that Bedrock was making 5 figures a week just to protect him in the wilderness of Utah, and Atlantic Records benefited by letting him do his thing. They even revealed that Kyrie Oliver...
Man, what the This is what I just said too. These folks making 5 of them things, 5 figures a week off this nigga. Man, I come secure the premises for y'all. What the hell?
I'm telling you. I'll make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do, my boy.
Like 5 figures? What the fuck is we talking about? 80,000?
of Utah, and Atlantic Records benefited by letting him do his thing. They even revealed that Kyrie Oliver, his mentor, once got paid $600,000 to serve as his celebrity assistant for a month. So there's no way she could be trusted to keep him on the right path. But the judges ain't agreed, because they allow YoungBoy to post a bond. They gave him the option of either putting up $500,000 cash or posting a $1.5 million property bond. This meant that instead of putting up cash, they could put a lien on his properties and repossess them if he ain't show up to court. YoungBoy posted $500K in cash and got released on Tuesday, October 26th. As long as he shows up to court and don't try to go on the run, he'll eventually get that $500,000 back. This is a major win for the NBA camp, but it don't mean YoungBoy's in the clear yet. He's still facing serious charges and can still go to prison if he's found guilty. He'll have to be on his case accused.
And that's what a lot of people don't be understanding, bro. When folks be saying stuff like, oh yeah, he free on bond. He ain't free on bond. Still gotta go to court though, gang. Still gotta go to court. Really.
Violate any of the conditions of his parole if he wants to stay a free
but if
man.
If he do good on his parole, he gonna be alright. He gonna be
But I ain't gonna lie, I think
right
he'll
now,
be straight. I mean, due to all the terms and conditions, I don't see him messing up.
Yeah.
Like he almost can't mess up. To be honest.
That's why I said I'm being real. The only way he really can mess up is I'm just being real. It's so easy for him to mess up just because he's YoungBoy.
Yeah.
Whatever he say, anybody around him gonna do. So, which I don't think he gonna do it, but if he like, man, slime, bring me some weed, fuck that. And he try to sneak and smoke it somewhere and they smell it, and somebody snitch,
Like,
he owe it.
But I don't think nobody from they ain't gonna let nobody from the NBA go to his house.
No, I'm just saying. That's why I say anybody around him. Like it can be anybody. It can be a young nigga that ain't even NBA, but it's just like one of his little cut. It can be anybody. He be like, man, slime, tell that they bring me some of that weed up here, bro. For real, slime, do that. And they gonna do it because it's YoungBoy. They gonna do it. That's why I said, but I don't think he gonna do nothing.
I
like
got
that.
faith in my boy though.
Yeah, I don't think he gonna do nothing like
He
that.
gonna be alright.
And to be transferred to his crib in Utah while his team gets everything in place to meet the conditions of his house
he
arrest.
got a crib in Utah, or is they providing the crib?
His label provide the crib for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they said they already put 2 million. They said they already put 2 million into him.
Yeah.
So they like forget it. We just gonna provide the crib and all this stuff for him in Utah.
So stay posted for updates.
Yeah, and they put the studio and stuff. I think my boy gonna be alright, man.
Yeah, that's why I said I think he gonna be straight, bro, for real. That's why I said, man, he need to stay
Out of trouble.
Cause I'm just being real. That's to me. That's why a lot of folks don't like doing it. A lot of folks don't like getting out on bond. That's not rappers. Cause they know they gonna break it. They know they gonna break their jump. But that's why I said, man, I really did hope, bro, just sit. Damn,
your
bro.
music, dog.
Because like I said, and what really gonna make him up is how they said. But this what lawyers be not lawyers, judges be giving folks. They'll say something like, you got a strict bond, but you can go back to Baton Rouge to your family. You can go back to Cali and see, knowing that man ain't gonna do something.
And see, to me, it's dumb because you saying can't nobody come to his house that's gang affiliated, and what was the other one? They said gang affiliated.
It can't be a felon.
It can't be a felon. But you'll let him go back to Baton Rouge to see family.
Yeah, that's why I said they just be setting him up.
I can call anybody family.
Yeah, they just be setting
If
him
I
up.
go back there, you already know. You know who he finna go.
Yeah, and that's why I said, bro. That's why I said
they be setting folks up for
anytime somebody released out on bond, bro. That's why everybody that been in jail that did real time say don't ever take probation, long probation.
If I was in YoungBoy shoes, I'm just being real. I wouldn't even leave the crib. I hit my mama in the, hey, y'all come to me. Y'all come see me from 7 to 9. And I had to do it like, I wouldn't even go to Baton Rouge because I know if he go visit, bro, something else is gonna happen, bro. And they gonna be right there.
And it ain't gonna be on him. It's just gonna be somebody trying to try him.
Yeah, it's gonna be something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or they gonna pull up on him and somebody around him gonna have a weapon or some crazy, and they just gonna take their money right back.
Basically, I'm just being real. Basically, what happened to Fredo Bang.
Basically.
How he didn't know he was in a stolen car.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know they had a gun on him. He didn't know nothing. He a felon.
Still in there.
And he in there right now.
And that's why I said, man, I just pray that he be straight for real until, it's time to go to court and all that. Man, just stay in the crib, young boy. For real.
I'm telling you, for real.
Man,
you
need to have time for yourself. Man, make your music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, I only have folks come to the crib that you know for sure.
And that's why I said, bro.
Not finna, you know what I'm saying, have you in that jam for
That's
real.
why I said I real deal. Cause I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I know what he finna go through gonna be some of the hardest because for one, he a famous rapper. For two, like being locked up in the house that long and that just every day you can't go out and see nobody. You can't even go to the gas station. Like I real deal hope my boy be straight for real. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like you said, I got faith in him.
I got faith in him, but you know
at the same time.
Sometimes, like you said, they just set you up.
They set folks up just to go back to jail.
Yo, but my prayers go out to my boy. I hope he be good for real.
YB, you know what I'm saying? You need some extra security, I got you, my boy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna charge $2,100.
You hear me?
You ain't gotta pay me $20.
You hear me? I'm on
$2,100. I promise you.
Shit, I'm coming. You give me $20 a day.
I'd be happy just to be in the big crib.
You give me $200 a day, I'd be good.
Man, shit, I'd be straight for real. PS5 or something, make sure I get something to eat. I'm straight.
Whatever, like this seeds now.
Nah, I ain't hitting the seeds, but hey, I secure the premises and make sure.
I secure the premises to where you can smoke your seeds all day, but that's about it. Oh, me.
That's about it.
Babe, if y'all like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the rest, don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy, the boy Crazy.
And we out.
And we out.